My husband and I, we've been farming here for about 20 years. The beaver enclosure came about because we were approached by the Norfolk Rivers Trust to say that they were interested in introducing beavers to the River Glaven. And the River Glaven rises in this very wood where we are now. We were there on the day of the release, which was I think probably one of the most exciting days of my life. And we have not been disappointed. It's been a wonderful thing to be involved in, really fulfilling and exciting.
We were looking for a site for probably the last 8 or 9 years, and it just takes the right landowner to say yes. The beavers came from Scotland, so we had a pair. They are called Winnie and Robin. Winnie's a lot bigger, she's absolutely massive. Robin's quite small, he's quite shy. Beavers are a lot bigger than you think. I was really surprised when I first saw them. I expected them to be kind of cat-sized. They're actually more like a big spaniel, or almost lab-sized. They have quite a well-adapted face to swimming in the water, so they don't get water in their nose and in their eyes. They've got a big paddle-shaped tail which helps them manoeuvre very agilely in the water. Beavers have an amazing capacity to fell trees with their teeth, and that's something that children just cannot get their heads around, especially when you see the size of some of the trees that they felled here. They are enormous. Beavers are making a real comeback. We are releasing them back into Norfolk and across Britain. We're releasing them into enclosures to demonstrate what they can do and how they can help change the ecosystem, and this enclosure is a prime example of what they can do. They help alleviate flooding, they help alleviate drought problems, and they help create habitat for loads of other species.
Beavers build habitat for pretty much every other bit of wildlife you associate with rivers. They build habitat for waterfowl and grass snakes and dragonflies and frogs and pond lilies. Yesterday we were doing basic invertebrate surveys to look at the life in the stream downstream of the beaver enclosure. And before the beavers were here, that would have been really quite prone to drought. There wasn't a huge number of species. But then what we saw yesterday was signs of quite an amazing recovery actually. So for the last 2 years, all the stream life down there has had a consistent flow. The University of East Anglia are measuring this, and the beavers are cleaning the water. And what we're starting to see is the plant species are starting to change, so that there's rushes appearing right in front of me and the mare's tail behind me. The willows are absolutely loving it. And things like the frogs are starting to come back. We've seen the last couple of days, the frogs and toads this year are just absolutely exploding in here.
The sort of visual has been completely transformed. They've taken an area, this strip of woodland, where, 2-3 years ago, it had a stream running through it, it trickled through the woodland. Now it's become sort of a lake, and the variety now of insect life, pond life, there are fantastically covered damson and dragonflies. This was quite a dark piece of woodland where trees have come down. There are now pools of light. Of course, where the pools of light are coming in, there are things springing up. It's just a real joy to be in. They are improving the landscape that they're living in, and that benefits us all.
The public should care about the reintroduction of beavers, partially just for their intrinsic value. They're cute, they're fluffy, but also the environmental benefits that they bring. Nothing else acts like a beaver, nothing else can create this habitat that beavers do.